Okay, Dr. Ariel, Dr. Ariel White. We want to talk a little bit about the program that you're doing, the gun buyback program, and how it started, and your interest in the gun buyback. I know you kind of hashed on it a little bit before, um, about why, but I want to go in specifics to what it means to do the gun buyback program and um, the different ways of getting, because you know these days it can be kind of hard to get youth, let's just use the number of between the ages of 14 to 18 or 14 to 20, getting their attention because a gun makes you powerful, the gun makes you feel like you're safe, and if you're dealing in illegal crime, the gun is your armor, it is your protection, and to disarm them, I feel at times can be difficult, and you have some different ways of doing that. Could you talk a little bit about it?
Yes, I can. The more I started having to bury young guys, 21, 22, 25, and even up to 30, from senseless gun violence, whenever that would happen, it would leave a pain in my heart. Then I said, something has to be done. So I began to try to think of what could we do to help the situation. And then I searched, Los Angeles has gun buyback every year. And they list how many guns that they take. Dallas, Texas has gun buybacks. In fact, there's a guy named Johnson who heads the buyback in Dallas, has come to Atlanta. He's been in one of our forums. He has encouraged us. So I had to look for previous success, because when you do a gun buyback, you got your automatic persons who criticize. I remember one week we were having a meeting and one of the gentlemen raised his hand. The first thing he said, "It ain't going to work." So you have your skeptics. So I have to explain what a gun buyback does. Somebody bought the gun in the first place. And because now it's more of a liability to them than it is a blessing, we want you to give up that gun that you know you don't need. And what we do is some kind of financial compensation for it. That's why we're buying it back. Certainly not enough to buy a real gun, because someone said, well, as soon as you give them money, they're going to go and buy a better gun. I said, well, if they can buy a better gun with what we're giving for that gun, they are going to be real good. But what it's like, we don't want to take your guns for nothing, give you something to say, hey, you're doing the right thing. So as I watched the others, then I decided to try it here in Atlanta. And this time more invasive than ever, because I'm looking to raise $100,000 that should be able to buy some real guns. In November, and we got to pick the date, before the end of November, get a location where the people can bring those guns. We will not ask questions. There's a deal of anonymity. Now, the police are saying that they will have to see if these particular guns were involved in a crime, but we're not going to tell who it was. We want to get the guns out of the community. 86% of the people who are killed in our community are killed by people they know. That statistic is too high. And you mentioned awareness, that is the first part that concerned me. And that is, how do we get our people aware enough so that they can understand maybe we don't need all of these guns? I had a young woman come to me yesterday, Sunday, and her father died like a month ago, and and she's certainly in grief. But she said, Dad had all kinds of guns. How do I get rid of these guns? This is what the program is all about. There's another woman who came. She said, there are 3 guns in my house. My grandchildren come to my house, and they're playing. I hope one day that they don't find that gun. But before they do, would you buy these guns now? But that shows you that there are situations where people recognize and realize that they need to get rid of their guns. And what I try to do is keep it on their mind.
Keep it on your mind. That's excellent. Okay, Dr.